Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 Cecilia Day Parade. We want to welcome our sponsors this year, our Nutrient Ag Solutions, Nolan RECC, Hodges Auction Company, and the Sicilian Bank. I'm Greg Thomas.
I'm Cordell Tabb. This is our 54th year of Cecilia Days. I think we started, best I recall, in 1970 downtown. They shut the whole town down and they had chicken cooking down on the creek. And then the parade would start at Bethlehem Academy back then when they started the parade. I don't remember exactly when the parade, but they did have the Beverly Hillbillies, two old men that come down in a Model A and they shoot a black powder gun off. And best I recall, they were in the parade back then. And I recall I lived up here in Cecilia at the time and I rode horses in the parade, so it had to be in the early 70s.
Well, in 1976, I would have been in the parade because I was Uncle Sam, and Michelle Coward was the Statue of Liberty. I remember that, and we did it because of the bicentennial year.
Well, I moved down where I'm at now, 1974 or 5. Philip was born there. But anyway, Cecilia Day has been going for 54 years, except I think we canceled for the COVID.
Canceled the COVID year, yes.
And other than that, it's been every year. We've had rains, hot, but today we can't hardly beat today's weather.
This weather's fantastic.
Perfect.
Should equal a big crowd.
We have a good crowd.
Why did they start it in terms of Cecilia Days? What brought it about to get it going? And it, with the Ruritan Club getting involved and that kind of thing. Tell me about that.
Okay, Denver Woodring is the daddy of Cecilia Days. Denver got out of the Air Force, retired E8 or E9, and started a hardware store down in Cecilia. And his wife had a little old Jiffy ice cream next door to the hardware store. Denver come up with the idea for Cecilia Days. Denver told me one time that he stayed, I think, 30 years in the Air Force, and every time he started to get out, he'd think about tobacco worms, and he'd re-enlist. I always thought that was a pretty good reason to re-enlist. But Denver was a really motivator, and he kept Cecilia going. In fact, our pavilion is dedicated to his memory. And Denver was very active in the Ruritan and in the community. But I'd say he's the daddy of Cecilia Days.
I still have
a little bit about the food. You all have some wonderful dishes served and some of the events that take place.
Yeah, there's plenty of food here today. Of course, the Ruritan sponsors a chicken dinner, barbecue chicken dinner. Last night we had a fish fry, but there's barbecue booths set up. There's hot dogs. There's different vendors over near the Ruritan building. So there's plenty places, plenty of opportunity to get food. There's a petting zoo back there, games, craft shops, craft booths, lots of things to do. Antique cars, antique tractor show later on, and they'll have contests with the tractors, different contests that those guys will participate in. That'll run pretty much all afternoons.
Another thing, we bought the Ruritan property from St. Ambrose. I was president of the Ruritan that year, and Father Brown, best I remember was Father Brown. He and I went to Louisville and got the deed signed. We gave $20,000 for it.
So the same, Father Brown, yeah.
Yeah. It's
the first Father Brown.
Right.
The first Father Brown. But he was a super nice guy. And so at the Ruritan, we were meeting down in Cecilia. Ray Brown had an old building down there he had a barber shop in, and the Ruritan met there for a while till we got up here, and then we started meeting here in the Ruritan building. But originally, the St. Ambrose used to have their picnics up here, and for years, it was my understanding, Hubert Thomas was a starter of the Ruritan also, and was a member of St. Ambrose, so he told a lot of history about it. But I do recall we gave $20,000 for the building and about 2 acres, best I recall.
Do I remember a chili dinner back in the early days funding the fire departments that might have been at Cecilia Tractor Service? I can't remember exactly where it was at, but back in the early days of the volunteer fire departments, the local Ruritan clubs and community clubs were instrumental on getting those things funded and going and set up. And I was really small, but I remember a chili dinner one night.
Yeah, I remember the Ruritan was instrumental in getting the 86th Fire Department going. Kenneth Hayden, and there were several of us that was on the board of the 86th Fire Department, but we're all Cecilia Rutan members. The Rutan logo, it didn't start till later on, and they're a nationwide organization. And I think we started off just Cecilia Community Club, and then we went to Rutan.
With the mission statement of the Rutan Club, is it similar to Rotary?
It's about like Lions Club or Rotary, or it's, of course, all the money we take in for Cecilia Day goes to help pay the street light funds, and we give scholarships, and pretty much everything we take in, we spend.
The snowflakes during the Christmas time.
Yeah, put up snowflakes for Christmas.
Sponsored. So.
I was going to say there are a number of events now that they host regularly, right? You talked about December. I mean, do they do a city lights project or anything like that?
We have a Cecilia Christmas lighting, and the caboose and
Christmas tree out in the bank lot and yard.
And yeah, we sponsor that. The Rutan pays the caboose, which is not a whole lot, but they put lights. We pay all the light bill for it. It's on the bank property, but Cecilia, Bob Owsley was instrumental in getting the caboose put down on the.
I'm assuming the Rutan Club always is open to accepting new members?
Yes, and need new members.
We need them now.
Like any organization.
But I've been in it 54 years, and I'd say we got newer or younger members now than we've had in a long time. For a long time, it was older people. And I'm the oldest. I guess I'm one of the oldest active members of the Rutan. Bob Owsley and
Kenneth
Hayden and Floyd Dotson, and they're all deceased. So
he's Cordell's our veteran, but we've got a lot of middle-aged folks that are very active, and then we've got a really good group of younger guys, what I would call younger guys and gals coming in that have some good ideas and willing to do the work. And it's really an active and strong club right now.
How has having Cecilia Valley Elementary School helped with the community growth and the friendship?
Yeah, you got a comment on that?
Well, of course, Cecilia's growing anyway without Cecilia Valley, but it is, I think, been a good influence on Cecilia, and
there's a really strong connection. I mean, the school is part of the Cecilia community, and the Rutan and some of the Rutan members have adopted the school, and the school's adopted the community, and it's really been a good relationship so far. Looking forward to get the West Hardin school built and moved in, and should bring even more awareness to our little town here.
I know back when Cecilia Valley was in the beginning, the Rutan sponsored them, and we welcome them with open arms coming into the community.
It's a beautiful school. It is really pretty. Great. How many people volunteer to make this happen? Any idea? Over 100, I'm sure, but.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, there's easily 30 to 40 that are connected to the Rutan Club on a monthly basis. And then so many more folks just come up. You kind of worry about Cecilia Day, or I do a little bit every year of is it going to come together? Because it's organized, but it's not organized. But if you can walk through the grounds today and through the kitchen area, and you see everybody just shows up. The folks that have been doing the same job for years, you can count on them to be there year after year to take care of things.
And I know I did the parade for 30 years. And like I said, it started out at Bethlehem Academy, and then it went to Lakewood. Then it eventually wound up behind us over here at the ballpark. And sometime in the 70s or 80s, we bought the ballpark, 7 acres, and the Rutan sponsors it. But we leased it to the ball club for $1 a year. I think that's the agreement, and which has really been a benefit to the county. In fact, they play down here from E-Town and everywhere.
Oh, I was going to say, my granddaughters played down here and it was packed.
Yeah, it's always been packed.
It's always been an active ballpark, but it's really picked up in the last decade or so. And I'll give a shout out to Blue Oval and Gray Construction. They came in this past fall and winter and did a lot of improvements and built press boxes at the fields and improved the fields, improved the drainage of the fields. It's a really nice ballpark here in the little town of Cecilia. So
I want to know, do you know the history of Cecilia? How it was incorporated as a city and such?
I don't. I've read about it.
The book does. There is a book on Cecilia that one of the local ladies sponsored and wrote, and it's got a lot of interesting stuff in there. Somebody like me that was raised around Cecilia my entire life, I had no idea until you read through the book. So.
Yeah, I moved to Cecilia after I got out of the Air Force, and in fact, I had my mom's aunt and uncle lived down on Railroad Avenue, and we used to come and visit them. It was about the only connection I ever had with Cecilia, other than moved here. And then Denver Woodring's the one got me into the Rutan. He was, like I said, he was running the hardware store, and I bought a hammer from him, a bluegrass hammer, still got it. And Denver got me involved in the Civic Club, or the Rutan, or the Cecilia days, and Denver had a way about him, and he'd get you involved before you knew you was involved.
A little bit like, okay, I need you to direct this traffic as I'm going to go up here.
Yeah.
You got those different jobs right away.
Come here and help me over here, and then he get you started, and then he leaves, so, and you're stuck. So.
You said you decided to settle after getting out of Air Force. Why did you want to live in this area?
Well, Henry Hodges, before I ever was involved with Hodges Auction Company, he had an auction down on the Horn Road, a little Jim Water house and 9 acres. And I brought my wife and 2 little girls down to the auction, and we gave $4,750 for it. And that's the reason that was about 1967. I got out in 1966. So that's how I got down into this area. And after I got to Howe Valley, I didn't know anyone, but found out a lot of them I were kin to over the years, different people. But they're good people. Everybody down here is good people.
I was going to say it's hard to find someone not kin to.
Right.
Yeah, I'm from the Ray family, Thomas family. I mean, huge family histories and things.
My dad always said we're all related. We all came out of Vine Grove.
Now, did the students here go for high school? Of course, Vine Grove has the rich history, the Vine Grove Devils, and then you had the Rhineyville Red Devils, and that was the first grade all the way up to high school. With Howe Valley, I believe it was the same way.
Howe Valley Wildcats.
Yeah, Howe Valley Wildcats.
Yeah, they were the Wildcats, but over the last however many years, they've all kind of incorporated under that Bruins label. Here we go. This is the parade, beginning of the parade here. We've got the Sheriff's Department leading out like they always do. I think we've got Sheriff John driving the Andy Griffin car this year.
That is a nice car.
It is a nice car.
You see that car around town. I think Kevin Addington may own that car. You see it around town periodically at different events.
And that's Central Hardin JROTC.
We got the West Hardin.
Central Hardin.
We're the JROTC.
This is not right.
It's the oh, we haven't got to them yet. Okay,
No,
I'm sorry. It's the Central Hardin ROTC and the Central Hardin Marching Band. The band came marching in a while ago and was practicing over the hill there. Looks like they're ready to go.
There's a bunch of them, I know that.
Good kids. These kids don't get in trouble because they don't have time to get in trouble.
GNC, it's coming.
Yeah, you really have to be committed to being in the band. They on this float here.
Silver truck with a softball on it.
Okay, you got this group here, Greg.
Cecilia Valley Elementary.
So Cecilia Valley.
Cecilia Valley Elementary School, students and staff, and I think my daughter's on that boat. Glenn Harrington driving that good-looking 1066 tractor. This is the new school up the road here that we were just talking about a few minutes ago. Ranked very high in the state. It's a good school.
Okay, now we got South Hardin 10 grade state champs for softball. The year in that 2018, that's a 2018 truck, I guess. But anyway, they're the state champs, these 10-year-old girls softball.
That's quite an accomplishment. Local kids and sure enjoying what they're doing.
Quite an honor to be the state champ.
Oh, it is.
Went all the way, never lost.
That's even a bigger deal. State champ's one thing, but undefeated is quite
When
another.
you go all the way, that's state. There ain't a lot of competition.
Oh, here comes Mama.
She don't.
Linda Kurtzinger, Mama, always leads the Cecilia Bank float every year. I don't see how she has enough energy to dance and jig like that the whole way.
Zach Hebert driving the Cecilia Bank armored car.
Looks like he's got a boatload of kids in there with him. Cecilia's a big influence on the town of Cecilia. The Sicilian Bank is. Still have their main branch here. They've grown over the years. Still focus on customer service. I think Zach Hebert's actually following up behind him with his truck, with his white pickup truck here.
Is that all employees?
That's a lot of them, if it's not all of them.
They started in Cecilia, that little bank, and now look at them.
Yeah, really. There's a ton of them.
And they definitely are small town supporters.
Look like they'd be throwing money.
I think we need to suggest that next year.
And if Bob Owsley was here, he would be here today.
He'd be right in that armored car.
Bob helped with this parade many years.
Bob always threw out $5 bills.
Here's Zach Hebert. Zach's a loan officer here at the Cecilia branch.
He's on a float, Cecilia Bank float.
Who is Zach?
I didn't pay attention to who's driving the armored car even.
Yeah, I guess he's hauling some kids and some folks that didn't want to walk, maybe. And one more float with the Sicilian Bank. Like a mini armored car.
That's one Greg Pauly drives, I guess.
There you go.
This is Rita and Jerry Miles carrying Miss Hardin teen, Kirsten Williams.
Kirsten Williams, pretty girl. Another pretty girl coming behind her, Candace Blackstone. She was the princess of the Cecilia Day, and she's in a Chevy Camaro SS driven by Danny Woosley.
Okay, then we got Pamela Lucas, Little Miss Cecilia, 2024.
All propped up there in the back of that truck, pitching some candy.
Yeah, she's a little girl.
Got the Kentucky 86 Fire Department coming next with their whole fleet, I think. Got a Spartan, a F750, a Freightliner, a GMC, a F350, and 3500 Chevy. Aaron Peters leading the way in the big pumper truck there.
They're all volunteers, correct?
All volunteers, and one of the best fire departments in the community, in the county, no doubt.
These are all tractors. This is
Okay.
Pretty good fleet of trucks, isn't it?
Yes.
They got a substation at Howe Valley now.
Yes, just put in a station number 2 on down the road a little farther to help serve the western part of their area. Got a good group, a good mix of veterans and young guys, and just a really strong organization. They, some of the fire departments have a little trouble at times with their volunteers, but these guys have got it going on.
I don't envy them, especially at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. In the wintertime, and especially.
When the tone rings, you got to go.
I was thinking about Russell Goodman and Bernie Ray was in the fire department. They'd go down the road with the lights on and doing 20 miles an hour. Neither one of them ever got in a hurry.
They still got there, didn't they?
This is State Senator Matt Deneen from Hardin County. Coming up in a Ford, that's his dad's truck, Jim Deneen.
Uh-huh.
His dad may be driving. No, Matt's driving, I guess.
No, Matt's riding. Matt's riding, Pop's driving.
His dad's driving.
Good looking old truck. He's taking care of that thing. Josh Calloway float coming up behind him, 2016 Ford F-150. Team Trump.
Vote yes on
Josh, the state representative. Oh, the judge is holding things up here.
Keith Tall is walking. He's a county judge executive. Got Megan with him, his wife. They're my neighbors. Live right across the field. Never do have me over for nothing to eat or anything.
He doesn't have time anymore. He probably never eats at home.
Well, you'd think he'd drop me off a steak or something. I could cook it.
We could probably drop that hint to him.
I saw his mother this morning. She's a city. She moved out.
Yeah, she's a city dweller now. Big Josh coming here, Hardin County jailer, Dodge Ram. What is that, granite color?
That's Big Josh on the truck.
Big Josh is holding the truck down.
Big Josh probably got room for everybody out there.
At the jail.
Brian Smith is the Hardin County clerk. He's driving in that little Toyota. He's walking behind it.
He's a walking.
He wears a bow tie.
Brian, that's his trademark. Yeah, Brian's doing a good job. He's keeping things going well in the county government, county clerk's office.
He promised he'd open an office in Radcliffe, and he did.
Eric Cook here, 1968 1250, 1750 Oliver with the 273 New Holland Hayliner, baler behind it.
Then we got David Snyder. He's in a case, 311, a 1957 model.
Got a 1960 John Deere 430 driven by Scott Langley.
And then you got Hatcher Gregory. He's in a 520 John Deere.
Good looking tractor's got them shining. Here comes our former sheriff, or one of our former sheriffs, Charlie Williams. He's got Hudson, Adlin, Sarah, and Adam Bunnell. He's in a 1951 tractor H Farmall with a David Bradley manure spreader 1948 model.
Charlie's probably one of the most popular sheriffs we ever had.
He's a popular guy in Cecilia.
Michael and Mark Allen in a Massey Ferguson 255. And he's got various garden equipment on it.
With a whole load of Massey Ferguson garden equipment. He's been collecting that stuff over the years, hasn't he? All righty, 1958 Oliver 770 driven by Jonathan Rushing coming behind him. Also manure spreader in tow, Ford manure spreader.
With the farmers, were the farmers always like
John Deere guy or International? Did they go through the farms that way as the tractors you use through the generations?
Just be, yeah, pretty much.
We got Ray Judd. He's in a 320 John Deere. It's a good-looking little old tractor.
That is a good look. It's an unusual looking little old tractor. Eli Rummage in a 1956 Ford 861. That's a good looking tractor as well.
And then we got Kyle Reisner, Razor, and Michael Ashbronner out of Chandler D21.
Yeah, it's the Razor tractor. It's a good looking, strong, stout tractor. Followed by Jimmy and Laura Thompson with Jandy Scarlett and Molly Crosby on the wagon. That's a 1976 966 International. That's owned by Jimmy and Kenny Thompson and Son Farm.
A big tractor. And then you got Carly Gludding, Massey Ferguson 35 Special, Grayson County Tractor Club.
Followed by a little Ford 1000, 1974 model, Grayson County Tractor Club, and that's Jackson Gludding driving that tractor.
Then you got a John Deere, that's Charlie French.
That's Charlie himself.
French Brother Farm.
The French family is strong in the Cecilia community as well. Followed by Merle Wells in a 1950 John Deere AR. Merle is in the parade every year and has a manure spreader with his family in it.
Merle's got a manure spreader too. Then you got Dustin Taylor. He's in a 1952 Farm OH.
Saw him go by a while ago, I believe. Jim Conkright's behind him in a 1957 Massey Harrison Ferguson.
He normally drives his truck. He ain't driving his old Ford truck this morning.
He's got him a tractor. He's
JT French. He's in a 2002 Massey 471.
JT's followed by his dad Gerald in a 1948 Farmall H.
No H is a good looking tractor. Then you got Jeff Compton. He's in a John Deere 1935 model, Model A.
Now we've got my brother Nicky Thomas in a 1960 B61 Mac. That's Nicky's. That thing's been sitting in the shop for a year, and I think he's been out with it a time or two. I think he's finally got it roadworthy.
Got it going. You got Russell Kugel. He's in a 54 Farmall.
Gary Kugel behind him in a 1952 Ford. Got her painted up red and blue.
Kurt Emery, he's in a 1951 John Deere. Grayson County Tractor Club. Grayson County's represented today.
Yeah, we've got a lot of tractors. Nathan and Eli Yates in a 1959 John Deere 630. Ronnieville boys that came over to the Cecilia parade.
I think we got more tractors than we've ever had.
I think we got a bunch.
This is Avery Thomas. He's in an Alice Chamber, WD 45.
Yeah. He's followed by Nathan McClure in a 1978 Alice Chamber 185. Now that's a tractor I've done a lot of work on, a 185, 175.
And then we got Clayton Thomas. He's in a 1985 Alice Chamber 6060.
6060, yeah.
Sound like a big tractor, don't it?
Followed by Briley Whalen in a 1969 David Brown.
Good looking little tractor.
Yes, sir.
Then you got Dan Thomas in 85 6080 Alice Chamber.
Yeah, those two Alice's ahead of it, I think Danny knows a little bit about. Might be his son and grandson. Bobby Estes here, 1967 Ford 5000. Bobby's got his tractor cleaned up and
Better looking good, yeah. Then you got Casey Crowder and an 8-in Ford, 1947. That's a popular little tractor. Used to sell good too.
Those little tractors like that did a lot of work back in the early days.
Tobacco, especially tobacco.
All right, another red one coming up. This time a Farmall Super MTA, driven by Gerald Hill. 1954 Farmall Super MTA. Gerald lives just right up the road here, a few houses on Main Street. He didn't have far to come to get in the parade.
You got Noel coming up. That's out of the line. Noel's in that Ford back there, 3600 Ford.
Yeah, this 806 here, we saw them go by a while ago. I'm not sure who that is, but that was a stout tractor back in its day.
Yep.
There's your Ford. There's the 806. He was out of place. That's Gavin Carden and Ashton Lush, 1967 806. I think the little, I got the Massey Ferguson right here. Colby Richardson's in that little Massey, 1952 Massey Ferguson, Riverbend Farm.
Then you got Lane Richardson, the 52 Farmall M.
And the big man himself, Dwight Richardson, following up behind in his little old 1968 Massey 165.
Now we're starting the antique cars.
Larry Hicks is the first one there. What is that, a model? Is that a Ford?
What
I don't have information on it.
That's fixed up, ain't it?
I don't know what that one is. Actually, here's Larry Hicks coming up behind him in this.
Well, Larry's got his name on this one. He's the master.
Well, yeah, it does. Larry's in this Mercury Cougar GTE, bought new in E-Town in 1967.
Mark Hicks. He's in a 1931 Ford.
I believe that was the first one. They got
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit
that
out
first
of
one,
line
Mark
on it.
Hicks.
We got Ron Davis here in this 1966 Plymouth Satellite, Ron Davis Ministry. Got a motorcycle. I don't think we know we got anything on him.
Cody Martin. That's a 1993 Nissan. Ron's trying to make some noise, ain't it?
Yeah, Ron could probably make some noise with that thing.
Needs to put mufflers on it.
Little Nissan there. He's got it decked out for racing, I guess. There's Jerry Dye in a 1998 Ford Mustang custom rig. Got his breather sticking out of the hood. He's ready to race too.
Then you got Roby Peters. He's in a 1967 Mustang.
That's a good-looking car in its days. Muscle cars. Got a 1970 Chevy Monte Carlo behind him. That's Dude, April, Emerson, and Walker. Got his Krager wheels on there and looking good.
Then you got Debbie Yates and Carver Smith in a Chevy Corvette, 1992.
That thing will probably outrun all of them up through there. Rodney Meeks coming in next in a 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
Got Matt Hash, he's in a 1973 Ford Maverick. Coming up, needs a hood on it.
Get more air in it without that hood on there. Wonder if these souped up cars, I wonder if they're taking them to the track on the weekend. Kenny Grimes, 1933 Plymouth Coupe. Kenny really takes care of that car. He's been driving it in parades for years.
Sharp. You got David and Edith Fields and a 1957 Chevy two-door hardtop. Says it's 31 straight years in the parade.
I think he has.
31 years. sharp Chevy.
Yep, he took care of that one too. Here's Ron Faulkner in a 1970 Chevy Cheyenne. Oh, we haven't got the Ron Faulkner. I think we've got a few out of line here.
The newer car.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that car is. Some kind of Chevrolet. They may just be looking for a parking spot.
They may be just going through town.
That's a Chevelle SS coming behind him. That ought to be, I don't have a card on it, but that ought to be a 67 maybe, 68. They changed the body style, I think, in 69 or 70. Here we go. Now here comes Ron Faulkner in a 1970 Chevy Cheyenne pickup truck.
And then Ernie. You know Ernie, don't you?
We got Ernie. Ernie's in his old model, whatever.
Ernie's always in the parade. That old.
Becca's Place Gymnastics. Look at that. They're doing things that I one time wished I could do, but not any longer.
That's the way I get up every morning.
Oh, is it? I bet it is. That's what keeps you young. This is more Becca's Place, I think, coming here in this black GMC.
There's a bunch of them in it.
It's a busy little place up there on the hill by the water tower.
Yep.
Not still in Cecilia, but just on the outskirts, up towards the school. Good-looking Denali pulling it.
That's a good setup. That big trailer, ain't it?
It is a big trailer. Those kids love that. Love those gymnastics.
You got Kim Coleman in a 2018 Ram 2500 and Hardin County GOP on top.
The Trump train.
GOP at You don't think they're Republicans, are you?
I think there's a few Republicans around in rural Kentucky. Okay, Life Point Church, Jerry Green in a 1946 Chevrolet. Life Point Church of Elizabethtown.
Huh. Barry DeWitt, Life Point Church, Dodge Ram 2500.
Got a white Dodge pulling our next float. It's New Life Vision Church, 16 Hoover Hollow Road in Eastview.
Pressure Pros for all your exterior cleaning needs are the next ones coming up.
Good looking little car.
Yeah. Oh, Chevy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. American Red Cross coming behind them. That's Richard Peters. Need those folks. When you need them, you need them.
Hey, Greg, we got Lily Compton, Miss Cecilia, first runner-up. 2024 Miss Cecilia, first runner-up. Riding today for friend John Sharon. John is the one that lost his leg at the fairgrounds during the Hardin County Fair.
Yep, tragic accident. I think he's still going through rehab. The orange dually that you see there, and that 1960 Alice Chandler, it's a 1978 GMC dually. This is all in honor of John. John was injured at the Hardin County Fair, volunteering at the tractor pool. It was a bad night that night, but got lots of friends, lots of community support. I'm glad to see these folks out in support of John.
Okay, you got Jonathan French and Katie French, they're Southern States Hardin Co-op. Feed, fertilizer, and propane.
Their daddy was driving that John Deere tractor a few minutes ago. Jared Given coming up behind them with another Southern States float. This is a 2022 Peterbilt 337 propane truck.
You got Brandenburg Telecom, that's another Southern States there.
Yeah, that's their new propane truck. They got that thing shined up.
Okay, this Brandenburg Telecom's got the Up, thank you, the Up movie theme. Upgrade your internet service today, it says.
They sponsor our live sports coverage.
There you go.
Brandenburg's a good outfit. They're just not in Cecilia yet.
They're in Cecilia with the businesses, but not with the residents yet.
With the resident.
A.J. Brammer, a 2006 Chevrolet HHR, Quixie radio. I think Quixie's in the parade about every year.
The Wolf has my son, Blake is driving.
Okay, 94.3, the Wolf. Blake Ryan and family. They're in the Chevy Equinox.
Say Blake Ryan's driving that thing. He might be a little bit related to Gina.
Yeah, and my granddaughter's my grandgirl.
There you go. You got to give them some extra coverage, extra footage here. Let me see you. And there's a sheriff's car, which means that's the last of our floats and the end of this year's 2024 parade.
The horse trailer got a horse with his head hanging there.
Yeah, we've got horses in the parade this year. They're just hauling them around in the trailer.
We used to have a lot of horses. I bet we used to have 30, 40 horses in the parade. They just finally faded out.
Those horses like sticking their head out that window, but dangerous going down the road.
Looking at the parade.
Looking at all the people. That's funny.
3 of them. Good looking horses.
That's the end of the 2024 parade. We had a great parade this year. Lots of floats, lots of tractors, lots of entries. We want to thank our sponsors again. We couldn't do this parade without their help. Nolan RECC, Hodges Auction Company, the Sicilian Bank, and Nutrient Ag Solutions. Again, we want to thank them for sponsoring the parade. They sponsor it every year, and we really appreciate their support of our community. I'm Greg Thomas. This is Cordell Tabb.
We thank you for coming down and helping us. It'll be on channel 2 and
Streamed on YouTube.
Streamed on YouTube. There you go.
So watch it. If you're not at the parade, watch it on YouTube or channel 2.
Good deal.